what are some of the main projects that Calderdale Community Coaching Trust work on?
It's ever evolving, to be honest. We've a couple of remits in the fact that we take directives from the Rugby League itself, like all community programmes do, that they have certain outputs to meet. That generally that changes from year to year really, but primarily it's getting people active in our sport. This year there's an active plan of an overarching plan that's called Coach to Coach, and how this works, it will work on four different areas. The same principle is that we need more people doing things. We need more leaders, we need more coaches. The games, sport itself encourages people to participate, but we need more people looking after them. So what we're out there doing, and we started at Calder High last, I think it was 4 weeks ago, were to produce leaders, in our case Rugby League leaders, and we produce maybe 10 to 15 in a 5-week session. They then have to go out and produce a plan and deliver a plan to get young people involved, i.e. 8-year-olds. So they get their award by doing that. So it moves itself around. Once they've got that, we move them on hopefully to a level 1 Rugby League course, then a level 2, and then they come back next year and help us deliver it again.
Is it hard to get the funds to do certain stuff for people?
It's not easy. I think it's fair to say that when you write grants for projects, you try to aim that you might get 1 out of 10 applications. So you have to do an awful lot of work to get in funding, and projects like this, I think it's fair to say last year it took something like £120,000 to deliver all these type of things over the last 12 months.
And how important is the funding to a charity like CCCT?
It's crucial to anything. If you want people to work full time for you, they need to be paid. If you want people to do session work, you need to be paid. The coaching fees have to be paid for. It costs. Running a community programme costs an awful lot of money. So we've got to look at ways, some innovative, some quite standard. There are some fundings that come directly from the national governing body, Rugby League, with partners, of course, of Halifax Rugby League Football Club. So everybody works together for the same aim, and it's just pulling it all together.
In terms of projects we've worked on in the past few years, could you just give us a list of some of the projects that we've been involved with?
You say we?
As in the Coaching Trust.
The Coaching Trust. It started, I'll be quite honest, it started around 5 years ago, in a very, very small way. I think Damien Gibson was the first and one and only coach that delivered, and the first project that we got together was actually working with young people, not in mainstream school. They weren't probably as good as they ought to have been, so they were in school, diversionary education, some young offenders, etc, etc, and we formed a partnership with the police, the local authority, Pen and Housing, and that was the first project we ever delivered. So there's a positive social activity goes on as well, which is another strand of what we do. We try and use a lot of the players now, and we have over the years as positive role models out there to help people in diversity of education as well. So that was the first one, that was the main one. And Tag Rugby League itself, a partnership with the RFU. You might think that's strange, but quite honestly, Tag Rugby at year 4 and year 5 and year 6 are pretty much the same. There's only, and we agree between ourselves that there's a slight change. We all get the same outcomes. So we deliver to year 6 mostly, to probably between 50 and 60 of the 85 junior schools in Calderdale at Tag Rugby League between us. Now the Rugby League side of things tend to deliver more of those because we've got more ability to do that. So that's a huge one as well. Another big one that's evolved over the last 2 years has been working with Eureka and working on healthy lifestyle derivatives of getting the message out there on people living healthy lifestyles and being active, and that's grown. And we've, Frank and the team have worked very, very closely at helping to deliver that. Again, they delivered the educational bit, and we delivered the activity and profiles. Again, the players out there, the message gets over so well, doesn't it? If you've got somebody impressive there, and you see them playing as well, you may just take that message home a little bit more. Working with families there on that case as well, so that you get healthier families. That's been a huge one, and again is evolving this year into a different sort of stream of that. So those are basically the three areas, but one that's grown in a shorter space of time has been cheerleading. And over the last 12 months, with the engagement of Hazel, I think it's fair to say we've gone from having a handful of 6 or 7 young people about to 106. There's near enough 100 registered with us, who turn up on a Thursday evening from 6 years of age through to 16. And then of course the senior girls, there's a little team of those who are out there as well, so a lot of activity.
So it's not just players that coach in the community then?
No, it isn't, because the whole ethos of this that I tried to personally instill in this when it grew initially was sustainability. Professional sport, I'll be really honest here, professional sport has a huge, and you'll know this, has a huge habit of being up and down. It's got money one minute, it hasn't got money the next. And when every professional sports club tried to, and I think other clubs will back me up on this, try to run their own community programmes, it suffered from the success on the field, or the failure on the field, or the financial successes of the clubs. So what we needed was sustainability. So a trust was formed and a charity, and the Rugby League now, in our game, the Rugby League are encouraging every club, every Super League club have got a foundation or a charity which underpins their community. They're trying to do the same in championship levels, and we're a front runner hopefully of that. To that end, we then employ, we've just started to employ a non-playing Rugby League person who's full-time community coach, a young lady called Beth Greenwood. She's working very, very closely now with Frank Wittini on delivering programmes when, players can't. The players who are working with us on this, they just literally can't do it on a Sunday because they're playing. They can't do it on 4 nights a week they train, so they can't go out to clubs, they can't go out to schools because they're training. So we've got to match that. So to keep sustainability, a non-playing person or persons we use, or you're going to use more to do that, then the playing staff who've got this profile can be used to do other things, like, as I said earlier, get over the healthy eating, and other areas like that.
And how did you get involved in the first place?
I think I was born here. It's the family history thing, isn't it? How I've been involved through the family being involved in Rugby League since I was born in 1950, and you've just grown up with it. I've been involved in the supporters club, junior supporters clubs, all those things. I've grown up with all those sort of things, and so you tend to grow with it.